Congressman, there's been discussion that regionalizing government services and economic development plans beyond county boundaries is the best way to continue to revitalize the Hudson Valley economy. Would you, as Congressman, be the conduit for regional initiatives, fostering dialogue and bringing the region together?
I think that's a great question, and I do think there's a lot of benefits we can get in New York from consolidating some government services. We have, the highest property tax rates of most of the states. We have 4,600 taxing jurisdictions in the state of New York. You all know this. You all deal with it. I pay them too. I think we can do better in the way we organize ourselves. When I was in the governor's office, we worked on an initiative called the Local Government Commission to try to do just that. I think there's a lot of benefits from that. I do think offices like mine can play a critical role. I want to say, I do think people should know, particularly in the business community, that we're doing pretty good in the Hudson Valley. I mean, unemployment in Dutchess County is 4%. It's lower than that in a lot of the parts I represent. We have some of the best new incorporation rates, some of the best private investment rates. And I'm a little concerned when I hear people running down our local economy. I want to recruit businesses to come here. If you talk to David Littman, who runs Hudson Valley Lighting, who was going to move to California, I'm delighted that he decided to move to Wappinger Falls instead. And part of it is that we're making investments in the airport here. We're making investments in the city of Poughkeepsie. We're working with local employers, listening to what they need to stay here, expand here, grow here, and it's happening. We have some of the best opportunities for small businesses, particularly small high-tech startups here in the Hudson Valley. It's one of the reasons I supported ending the regulations on small entrepreneurs who want to recruit, want to market and want to raise capital and move towards IPOs. I think we can build a whole new economy here in the Hudson Valley that is future-oriented, so our kids can stay here, and we can have these cities like Poughkeepsie and Newburgh be growth engines for the whole region. I do think part of it is thinking beyond historical borders and consolidating some of those costs and services so that we can get more for what we're paying. And I don't think government should stop reforming. We have got to do government smarter and leaner the way the private sector does. It should work more like the apps on your iPhone than the 19th century post office, and that's what I'm working on too.
Mr. Oliva, there's been discussion that regionalizing government services and economic development plans beyond county boundaries is the best way to continue to revitalize the Hudson Valley economy. Would you, as Congressman, be the conduit for regional initiatives, fostering dialogue and bringing the region together?
I think a congressman, it's the perfect role for a congressman because there's 4 counties in this district. So you would want to not stick just as Dutchess County or Orange County or Putnam or Westchester, but kind of look at it regionally. You should always encourage consolidation and shared services, incentivize. You can't mandate it because there's lots of issues that go with that. Property taxes are a huge issue. Sean mentioned it. I hear that a lot. A lot of businesses say, "Oh, property taxes are killing me." We pay the highest. I'm in Westchester, the highest property taxes in the nation. It's high up here as well. One thing I would do in Washington is change the Medicaid law that says, right now the states pick up half the cost of Medicaid. 4 states kick some of the costs to their localities. New York is the only one that splits the cost with the counties. That's why New York spends as much on Medicaid as Texas, Pennsylvania, and Florida combined. If we were to change that law, New York would have to get its act together and figure out how they're going to pay for that, relieve the burdens from the local governments. That would be one big thing that you can lift and lower property taxes. I look at the, Tech Valley starts down here, goes all the way up, through Saratoga. People know that, Philips Electronics and Global Foundries, all the way up to Albany Nanotech, that there is, brain capital here, intellectual capital. There's the companies here in Westchester. We have biotech. We have over 20 to 30 firms. We have Regeneron. We have Accorda Therapeutics. You want to build clusters and you want to think regionally. And a congressman could certainly do that because you can bring everybody together. I'd be a facilitator and a coordinator. I would try to bring in funds where I can. But I would get on the phone and hustle up some of these companies and folks and tout all we have. Sean's right. I mean, we're blessed to live in the Hudson Valley. We have New York City being close. Geographically, we're there. We have great universities, community colleges. We have to leverage all that. And as congressman, I would be here fighting with each of you to do so.